Hi, my name is Joshua Ozarek, and I'm with Group 19. One of the technical problems I faced was updating answer sets to contain additional information. Originally, it was just an answer contained in a string. We had to update it to a JSON object to contain additional information. Originally, it would contain a 4-letter code to represent a lizard species. We needed to add additional information, such as the species name and also the genus. I also had to update the combo box. The combo box was to represent primary answers as red, selectable, and large text. The secondary text was to be gray, indented, and non-selectable, information only. I started by updating the entity from a string to a JSON object. I also had to update the getters, the setters, and the constructor in the data access object. Then I went to overriding methods in the combo box. The combo box has a get view. The get view displays the text for when the combo box is not selected. The text would need to be red and large for when the combo box was enabled, and if the combo box was disabled, it needed to be gray. The get view would also have to ensure that the strings did not contain any not wanted information. When I was parsing from JSON objects to strings, I had to add delimiters to signify primary and secondary answers. The get dropdown view of the combo box shows the view when the combo box is selected. It gives a list of views with all the information. The primary items would have to be red, large, and selectable. The secondary items would need to be gray, non-selectable, and indented. The get dropdown view would have to parse through the string, remove the delimiters, and then add information based on what the delimiters were. The ability to parse the string and then recombine it into a JSON object and store it was also important. That way, once a primary answer was selected, it could be combined with the JSON object with the secondary answers and stored in the database. Some of the results were, it was very difficult to implement. I had to go through the method, and I ended up not being able to find all the information that would be going into the method to begin with. And this ended up with some of the combo box items not being formatted properly or not receiving any formatting at all. The answer set was also referenced in multiple locations in other classes. And so I ended up breaking a lot of things in other classes. And then several of the unit tests were also broken by updating the entity and answer set. Going forward, I would have referenced the documentation better and have a better understanding of what the default behavior of get view and get dropdown view were. I also would have went through and found all the places that answer sets were referenced and created a guide or document it. And that way, when I was troubleshooting, it would be easier to find out where things were referenced and how difficult it would be to modify them. I also needed to communicate with the team and make sure that the format that I was using was the most accepted format for the team, and that way I wouldn't have had to go through and update it after the fact. Currently, the methods all work. The data is currently stored correctly, and the combo box displays the text properly, but it was a tedious process, and I could have saved a lot of time by proper planning, communication, and research.